I'm Malcom Atkinson. I'm a professor in the School of Informatics at the University of Edinburgh, and I direct the eScience Institute, and I'm the UK eScience Envoy. Wearing all these hats is quite difficult. Well, I've been involved in the summer school since its beginning, and I have, for the last 3 years, been involved in leading the program committee that put together the program. All the work of logistics and practical things are done by the local organising committee, but the program committee takes responsibility for shaping the program, trying to get the balance of the program right between the needs of the students and the needs of the lecturers, because they're all volunteers, and trying to make it a coherent and interesting story for the whole 2 weeks so that the students go away having thoroughly enjoyed it. All education is important. It says in Proverbs, give instruction to a wise man and he will be yet wiser. And the founder of McDonald's said, if you think education is expensive, try the cost of ignorance. The reality is that the more you educate people, the more they're capable of doing things in the complex world in which we live. It's really important that we become more capable so as we can compete both with the natural problems that we're facing, with the man-made problems such as environmental change, such as our aging population and our more scarce resources. And so we really do need talented people to be well educated. Grid computing is critical in facing those challenges, because those challenges have to be addressed by understanding the realities of the nature of those challenges, of the aging population, of the diseases, of the causes and the responses to climate change, and to get all the data, to manage it, to run models to explore alternative strategies. For example, changing the crops in Scotland. What effects will that have on the Scottish agriculture and feeding Scottish people and on Scottish people's health? You need to run very complex models to do that. We need talented people who are well educated to do that. Grids are one component of the infrastructure that those people will use. I'd like to see them having education in digital systems judgment, in digital data collection, in computational models and so on throughout their educational career. And one of my particular goals about running the summer school is to get people to go back to their institutions and educate lots of other people, and I hope that many of the people in the course will go back to their institutions, and when they get to be lecturers and teachers in other places, they will bring into their lecturing and teaching the issues that we're talking about in the school today. I see the future of grid computing as something that I hope will largely disappear from view, in the same sense as most people don't discuss IP packet switching now. Whereas I remember in the 60s and 70s, we spent a lot of our time discussing how should we build a network, how should we move data about on it. Now we take it for granted that we're going to use TCP IP and all the technology that we have in place. My ideal for grids are that they'll become an underpinning technology as well. And only the professionals who are really concerned with engineering them will be worrying about them. And what is really important to think about is how do we use an infrastructure where we have rich sources of data scattered across Europe, and an infrastructure where we have computation scattered across Europe, in my view, carefully placed in places where we can get energy which doesn't do serious damage to the atmosphere, like places like Iceland, where we can use geothermal energy. And what I would then expect is that the grid education will focus not on how do you build a grid, which we still spend too much time on at the moment, but how do you use this infrastructure to address the challenges I was talking about just now. I don't know. I mean, they let some mad idiots in from Grid Cafe, but I don't think that's an anecdote. There was some silly people who failed to catch the boat, and I was one of them. I got excuses. I won't rehearse all of them now because it would take too long. But basically, if I'd been the skipper of the boat, I wouldn't have come back. I do think that the summer school hasn't had anywhere near as much activity in the water as it should have, and I think it's high time we constructed an event which got all the students into the water, maybe a midnight swim tonight.